You can find this podcast and other ones you love on Castbox, the best way to listen to podcasts. Download on the App Store or on Google Play.
The opinions expressed on the X and Y Show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y Show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y Show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y Show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings. Welcome to the XY Show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt. And we are in another week, 2 weeks away into a new season of the XY Show 2020. Glad to have you all here again. Thank you for my new followers who have subscribed to me. I appreciate you. Hey, I love you all. You know, even the ones who don't like me, fuck you, but I love you too. Because I need everyone to make me a better voice. Because I'm here for you. I work for you. You know, well, I don't work for you, but I mean, you know, I'm your voice. I'm saying what is real. I'm not saying what the networks want me to say, because there is no network. Nobody paying me for this shit. So I'm telling you what's going on for real. So when you hear it on the X and Y Show, it's not bullshit. It's reality. It's what's going on. A lot of times it's not pretty, but it's the truth. So, glad to have you all back. I'm going to just read 2 letters this week and get right into the episode. First letter from Tony. Roosevelt, what do you have against Valentine's Day? I just spent $300 on my girlfriend. She was happy. I was happy. Had a great time. I'm happy that she had a great time. What is your problem? Well, you know, it's interesting. You know, I get that question asked, you know, for that. I guess you probably heard my Valentine's Day episode. I don't have anything against Valentine's. You know, I don't hate the holiday. Well, I don't hate the money day. You know, I don't hate it. You know, I just told the truth in the episode. It's nothing but a money holiday. Now, I know a lot of you say, well, the same thing applies to Easter with Easter eggs and Christmas with the Santa. And okay, you can have that argument, but it's really not the same because, you know, if you are a Christian and you celebrate Christmas, you know, there is a commercial side of it. I'm not denying that, you know, with the Santa Claus, Rudolph, and all of that. And I like all that stuff, but I know the true meaning of Christmas was, you know, is the birth of Jesus Christ. I know the true meaning. It's just that other stuff is, you know, fun. You know, when you were a kid, you grew up with it and seeing Charlie Brown and all of the Christmas specials on TV and all of that. It's just fun. But Valentine's Day is totally different. Valentine's Day is nothing but money. It's a money holiday. And I think it's bullshit because I don't think that you should have one day set aside to do what you should be doing already. You know, it's for basically stupid motherfuckers who feel that they have a day to say, hey, I really do care about you. And go out and spend all this money and buy all these roses and candy and all that shit. And the next day go back to the same shit they were doing the other 364 days. So all I'm saying is, fuck Valentine's. I don't hate the holiday. I'm not hating against it, but fuck Valentine's. If you are truly treating your man or treating your woman like they were supposed to be treated 365 days a year, then you wouldn't need a fucking Valentine's Day. That's all I'm saying. So all of you people that went out and spent all this money on one day to show the person that you care about them and all of this stuff, you spent all this money, you're a dumbass. But I'm not hating on you. I'm just, speaking. That's just my opinion. Because if you're doing what the fuck you were supposed to do the other 364 days out of the year, you wouldn't need a Valentine's Day. Anyway, that's how I'm going to answer that question. Next question. From Sharon. Hi, Roosevelt. I'm getting married. Congratulations, Sharon. And the budget is a little tight. As a result, we have to be considerate of who we invite. How would you do it? Well, Sharon, I think I did an episode on this a while back. It's simple. Economics. The way I would do it, you have to decide on who would give you a gift. And I know that sounds real low and real shallow to a lot of you folks, but oh well. I'm being real. Why would, I never understood why would people invite people to their wedding knowing that certain people are not going to give you shit. They come eat all your goddamn food, drink all your liquor, and leave and don't even shake your hand and shit. Don't even say congratulations, let alone give you a goddamn thing. So I never understood that. If you know some motherfuckers in your family that are not going to give you shit on your wedding, yet you invite them anyway, then that's on you. People always saying, well, I invited them, at least they can give. No. You know they weren't going to give you shit. And you still invited them. Then you're mad at them because you spent $50 a plate or $100 a plate on a wedding. And you invite these motherfuckers, these greedy motherfuckers, to your wedding and they don't give you a goddamn thing. Then you mad at them when you should be mad at yourself for being a goddamn idiot. So, Sharon, my advice to you, invite the people who you know for 100% sure. I'm not sure how much of your, it doesn't matter how much your plate is per person. If you're not going to get a present from your invitees, don't invite their ass. They say, oh, I didn't get invited. You don't have to tell them, well, I didn't invite you because you wasn't going to give shit. You don't have to be that blunt like I would. But you can say something like, oh, we had a limited budget and we just didn't have that much money and, I wish I could have invited you. Oh my goodness, please forgive me. But, I'm sorry, but we couldn't invite everybody. Please forgive me. Come up with something. Put a little tears in your eyes. But knowing deep down, you didn't invite them because you know they wasn't going to give you shit. That's what it boils down to, Sharon. Invite only who you feel is going to give you a gift. If you have to go even a step further, if things come, well, I'm going to invite Cousin Lucy, but I also want to invite Cousin Bippy. You have to determine out of Lucy and Bippy who's going to give you the better gift. So, Bippy might be making, let's say, $200,000 a year, and Lucy might be making $30,000 a year. Well, there's a pretty good chance that you'll probably get a better gift from Bippy. That's all I'm saying. So, the bottom line is, Sharon, invite only the people in your family or friends who you know 100% that's going to give you a wedding gift. You know that they're not going to give you a wedding gift, or you have doubt that they might not, don't invite them. That's how you do that. That's how you make a wedding list. Don't invite all these greedy motherfuckers to come eat all your food and drink all your shit, and they're not giving nothing. I never understood that. So anyway, Sharon, I hope I helped you out. Congratulations on your marriage, and I hope you and your husband continue to listen to the X and Y show like you're supposed to, butt naked. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to jump into this week's episode. This is an episode that affects all of us in a certain way, even myself. All my episodes affect me, some not so much as others, but anyway, this one affects me as well. This week's episode: never take off your crown to make weak people feel comfortable. Never take off your crown to make weak people feel comfortable. And what that means is basically never stop feeling good about yourself just to make, other people who are fucked up feel better. Misery loves company. And a lot of times people, if they are going through something and are feeling miserable, and a lot of times they want the person, everyone around them to feel the same way as well. So a lot of times, even though people are feeling good about themselves, when they're around certain people, they have to tone it down a bit because they don't want to make the other person feel uncomfortable, excuse me. And I think that's really bullshit, and I think it's a big problem of what's going on in society today. A lot of people are walking around not feeling good about themselves. And then, it's almost like they want other people to feel the same way, or other people who feel good about themselves don't want to make the person that doesn't feel good about themselves awkward, And I think that, society as a whole, that we all play into this, even myself, it's really mind-boggling to me how people allow society to have so much influence in their lives. And it starts at a young age. We all went through elementary school where we didn't have the cool lunch box, and then other friends had the cool lunch boxes, and they, they make some friends, feel bad because you got a fucked up lunchbox. We all got Superman, we all got Thor, and you got Snow White. It starts at a young age. From elementary, junior high, and high school. Goes to college, and even the workforce. So it's something that nobody is exempt from. It's everywhere. People feeling bad about themselves, and people that feel good about themselves gotta tone it down a little bit because they don't want to make the other person that's going through some shit, or the other person who doesn't feel good about themselves, uncomfortable. And I think that's really fucked up. I think it's really a bad point that we have gotten that way in society. That we are actually letting other people dictate how we feel about ourselves. Which is really a lot of bullshit. And I think that it's important that, we realize the person that are feeling bad about themselves, why are they feeling bad about themselves? What is the root of their problems, of their issues? And I think that, in feeling good about yourself, it should be an easy thing to do. You feel good about yourself. Your self-esteem is very high, but let's be honest, it's not. That's why so many people today are taking depression medicine. So many people today are committing suicide. So many people today are in chaotic mental states because they don't feel good about themselves. And why is that? And I think that this is why I say you have to have certain factors in your life in order to feel good about yourself. And before I go any further, I'm going to tell you a little story about myself. A few years back, when, I was at the time living in Alaska and had a good paying job, very good paying job. And what happened, my father had passed, so I wanted to be closer to home with my family. My mom was, getting older, and I didn't want to hear by herself, even though I had two siblings, but I wanted to be closer to family, especially my father. So I came back to Miami, which was probably the worst mistake of my life. But anyway, I came back to Miami, and now at the time I only had 3 degrees. So I thought, I can go to Miami. It'd take me about 2 or 3 weeks to get a job, Shit. It took me about 1 year and 8 months to get a job. Damn near 2 years. And I'm sitting there with two bachelor degrees and an MBA. So I was not feeling good about myself. And I didn't want to, I didn't want to be around anyone because I didn't want anyone to see me. I had friends here. They was always, Jay, let's go do something, man. You got to get out of the house. And, fuck that. I didn't want to see nobody. I don't want to do anything. I didn't want nobody to see me in that state. Because I was not feeling good about myself. I was not feeling good about the condition my life was in. I couldn't find a fucking job. Couldn't find work. And really, to be honest with you, I should have talked to some, I had family, I could have talked to, but I don't think that would have been enough because they couldn't relate to what I was going through. I should have actually probably sought professional help. I should have talked to someone professional on a professional level. I mean, some shit I was going through, I couldn't support myself, and it was a bad time in my life. And, I did, I came out of it, obviously, because, I finally got a position, and I finally got a job, and, pretty good job, and finally being able to support myself. So I feel a lot better about myself than I felt during that time. But my point is, I should have talked to somebody because I was thinking about some things, and I was thinking on a level that I shouldn't have been thinking on, And I think that's what's important. When people are going through some things, instead of taking our crowns off to make them feel better, if we were really truly a good friend or family, we should find out what is the root of their problems. Why aren't they feeling good about themselves? There's always a root to the problem. And it could be a myriad of things. It could be financial, it could be occupation, and you can't find a job, bad breakup, bad divorce. It could be a lot of things. Sickness. It could be a lot of things. So the thing is, we have to, instead of bringing our levels down and making the person feel better, we have to determine what is making them feel bad. That's what a true friend does. That's what true family do. What is the problem? Why aren't they feeling good as we do? That's when we should intervene. As a true friend, as true family, as true human beings. Now, I think the 4 aspects, and it's very important for every person to have to feel good about themselves is very important in all our lives, including myself. And if we have these 4 elements in our lives, I think that it'll be less depression in the world. I think there'll be less need for depression medication. I think there'll be less suicides if we had these 4 elements. And those elements are family. One is family. Family is very important. If you don't have your mom or your dad still around, you have a cousin, you have a first cousin, you have an uncle, you have an aunt, niece, somebody with, that come from your family tree. You need family. It's very important. A lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people out there who haven't seen their family members in 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And they don't know, but it's really playing a part on their lives. They don't know they're fucked up walking around. That affects you. You don't have any interaction with your family. That affects you. And a lot of people walking around don't know they're fucked up. Don't know that they have a problem that needs to be addressed. And that causes them to feel less about themselves. I don't care who you are. You need family. Family is important in everyone's life. And like I said, if you have a mother and father still, you're not blessed to have them around. You have an uncle, you have an aunt, you have a niece, you have a nephew, you have a cousin. But you need somebody. You need family. Family is important to help you feel great about yourself. It is. You have to listen to me. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go to any psychologist and psychiatrist. They'll tell you the same thing for $300 an hour. I'm telling you for free. I'm telling you for free. Listen to me. Another aspect, the element that everyone needs are friends. True friends. True friends are important. You need friendship. Oh shit. I would even go as to go, you need a good associate. You need somebody where you can put your guard down and say, hey man, I'm having some problems, man. Can we go talk? Oh my God, oh Carolyn, I need someone to talk to. Can we go out somewhere and just chat a little bit? You need a friend in your corner. You need a good associate in your corner. Friendship is important to make you feel better about yourself. Good, true friendship. I'm not talking about fake people who pretend to be your friends and they really stab your ass in the back. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about true friendship. Friendship is important. You need a friend. That's one thing I always admired my father. My father had real friends. Oh my God. My father had friends that would, if he asked them for $10 and they had 15, they would give him $10. Seriously. My father had a friend that gave him a car one time. True friends. Friends are needed in your life. Everybody needs friends. Everyone. So, when I see those people walking around, I don't need friends. I don't have friends. I don't trust people. I don't trust women. I don't trust a lot of women friends. Then that motherfucker's crazy. And they're walking around fucked up and they don't know it. Because they do need a friend. They need someone in their lives to be in their corner. That's not necessarily related to them. Because sometimes, your cousin can be your best friend. I'm talking about somebody who's not related to you. You need that best friend. You need that BFF. It's very important in your life to feel great about yourself. It is. True friends. Another element that is needed is companionship. Companionship is very important. You must be loved. You must feel loved by someone in order to feel good about yourself. You need that woman in your life. You need that man in your life. You know, you need someone to tell you I love you. You need someone to give you a kiss. You need someone to give you some pussy. You need someone to give you some dick. You need companionship in order to feel good about yourself. If you don't have that companionship, you can't feel good about yourself fully. I don't give a fuck who you are. You motherfuckers are that, oh, that's not true. I haven't had a boyfriend in 8 years. Well, you fucked up. You fucked up in the head, but the problem is you don't know it. I haven't had a girlfriend in 7 years. I'm all right. No, you're not. You fucked up. But the problem is you don't know it. Companionship is very important for a person to feel good about themselves. You need to feel loved. You need a kiss every once in a while. You know, you need some pussy. You need some dick. You need a hug. You need companionship. Companionship, very important for a person to feel good about themselves. Now, lastly, the last element you need, if necessary, if you don't have the A, B, or C, you don't have the family, the friends, and the companionship, then you need the medical help. You need a professional to get you through the bad times. Some of you are going around with, I said 4 elements. Some of you going around with 2. Some of you going around with 3. Some of you going around with 1. Some of you are going around with nothing. When I was going through my time, I had family. I had friends, but not as many as I thought I did. So that was a wake-up call. And I didn't have companionship at the time. I wasn't getting no pussy or nothing like that. So I wasn't getting no ass. So that made things worse. And I wasn't getting medical help. I needed medical. I should have talked to someone. I should have talked to a professional. So out of my 4 elements, I only had 1. I only had family. Who knows? If I didn't have family, I might have done some fucked up shit. I don't know. So I'm not exempt to this. I'm not just talking out my ass. I'm talking from real life experience. Me, myself, I only had 1 element at that time. I only had family. Thank goodness I had a strong family bond, So it kind of compensated for the shit I didn't have. Had friends, but not as many as I thought I did. Not nearly. Didn't have companionship. Wasn't getting no pussy. And I didn't talk to no one or a professional that could have provided me that mental companionship, that I needed. That mental therapy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Didn't have that. So I'm telling you myself, I didn't even have all my elements at that time. Now I'm okay. But this is why people are going around not feeling about themselves. So instead of, toning down our happiness for that person that's not feeling well, we should find out why aren't they feeling like we do? That's what true friends do. That's what true families do. Because if you don't address these things, other things mount up. Depression. Then you start taking depression drugs, stress, self-hate, negative emotional buildup. Next thing you know, suicide. Possibility. You've seen it. People are depressed. You say, oh my goodness, they had everything going for them. Why? That's why. It was some elements in their lives that they didn't have, and they didn't know how to address it. It was something that was missing. And if they would have had true friends, or if they would have had stronger family bonds, I don't know what. But if they, it seems like if they would have had one element to compensate for the next, who knows? Maybe that person could have been saved. Their family would have had a better, stronger family bond, or somebody from their family would have stepped in with an intervention, or, hey, I'm worried about you. We're all worried about you. Or a friend would have stepped in and said, hey, man, we need to talk. Oh my God, Carol, we need to go. Let's go out to dinner. Let's go, just sit down like we used to do in high school. Or if they had a girlfriend, or if they had a wife, somebody could say something, honey, are you okay? Do you need to talk to someone? Do you want me to go with you? That's D, mental, that's medical help, professional help. I think that we as a society has a responsibility to help other people who are not feeling good like we are. Not just say like, oh shit, I'm around him today. I got to tone it down because he kind of miserable. Nah, man. We should say, hey, man, what's wrong, man? You've been fucked up a long time now. What's going on? Be real. Talk to me. Who knows? They might open up to you. Who knows? Or if they don't open up to you, get a family member to get them. Or get their wives to get them. Or girlfriends or boyfriends, husbands. The 4 elements that I mentioned, if they are involved in everyone's life, I believe that it'll be a far less amount of people walking around that don't feel great about themselves. If every person had great family bonds, every person had great companionship, if every person had great friends in their lives, and they're necessary, sometimes help is needed. Every person had the availability and the access to professional help. I don't think anyone would feel less about themselves if those 4 elements were in place. There won't be a need for depression drugs. There won't be a need for stress management. If those elements were in place with everyone in society. Think about it. If everyone in society had strong family, if everyone in society had good, true friends in their lives, or good associates in their lives, if everyone had good companionship in their lives, if everyone had true and availability or access to medical help when they needed to talk to someone, a professional in their lives, there would not be such an enormous level of self-hate amongst society, members of society. There would be no need to take your crown off, or be not wanting to make them feel uncomfortable. Oh, let me tone it down a little bit. No, you need to tone it up. Let them know you can be happy as well. What's wrong? How can I help? How can I be of service? That's what true family does. That's what a true friend does. That's what a true husband or wife do. We all should be wearing crowns. We all should be feeling great about themselves. We all should be feeling great about ourselves. No excuse. We all go through problems, but we all address them in different ways. but we should feel good about ourselves. And if we don't feel good about themselves, then we should have the people in our lives that help us feel great about ourselves. And if we don't, we should have the people in our lives to help us get there. We all need help from time to time. Even I did a few years back. I was fucked up. Couldn't find a job, and it just was a domino effect of other shit in my life falling apart. Just because I couldn't find a job. But I look back at it now as a great learning experience. It made me stronger. Made me truly see that, I didn't have as many friends as I thought I did. So a lot of fake motherfuckers that was in my life, I omitted their ass. I'm okay now. I got a job. I'm good. Got a good job. For everyone, it's different. Sometimes it's other shit. It's not a job. It's it could be a death in the family. It could be losing a house. It could be an injury that made them paralyzed. It could be a whole. We all go through different shit that makes us feel less about ourselves. But the key is having the people in our lives that don't allow us to stay at that point. Stay at that point. And that's what's key. Having people in our lives that can help us and make us feel like we have a duty to feel good about ourselves. If we don't, we have people in our lives that should definitely help us to feel that way. There's no excuse for anyone to walk around feeling less about themselves. Nobody's going to feel about themselves better like you can. So, don't take your crown off for other people and make them feel uncomfortable. Instead, keep your crown on and make them want to put their crowns back on. That's the key. That's the mindset that society should have. Find out why they are not happy with themselves. And you could just save their lives. Hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of X and Y Show. Be sure to check out the show on whatever avenue that you listen to. I'm on a wide array of different networks, so check me out. I'm on Castbox, I'm on iHeartRadio, I'm on Spotify, I'm on TuneIn, Google Play, I'm on Stitcher, and my main broadcasting hub is from Spreaker. I'm also on social media. I'm on Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find all of that on the website, www.thexyshow.com. That's www.thexyshow.com. You can find everything there. And also contact me. There's a contact form. You can send some questions, constructive criticisms. You can send recommendations on future episodes, or just say hello. You can find all of that there. I will have the X and Y Show store back soon. I'm changing distributors, so I have to pick the materials and all of the stuff that I'm going to have in there. So be patient. That's coming back. And you can also buy a shirt and show everyone how much you love the X and Y Show. So stay tuned for that. So without further ado, I will say good night, and I want you all to remember that you cannot have love without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.